Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles, where today, a father refuses to walk his daughter down the aisle for her wedding. Our first story is by Goodstill6474. Am I the butthole for refusing to change my baby's name after I named her after my dad's affair partner? I 26F just gave birth to my daughter Annabelle. I didn't announce it beforehand because in the past one of my family members stole a baby name, and it created a lot of drama. My mom wanted to know, but I was adamant on keeping it a secret. My mom and dad was in the room when I gave birth and when it was time for me. To sign the birth certificate, my mom asked for the name and I told her Annabelle. Her face went pale and my dad didn't look too happy, but he said he loved the name. My mom left a few minutes later claiming she didn't feel well. She said she'll come over in a few days to help with the baby. Now I'm at home with the baby and my mom hasn't talked to me that much. We used to talk every day, so I was confused by this sudden behavior. My sister Emily lives with mom still, so I called her over to talk. When she got to my house, she explained how she overheard dad and mom arguing. Because about 10 years ago, dad had an affair with a coworker named Annabelle. Mom hasn't been talking to him, and he's been trying to get her to talk. I guess dad, realizing that Emily had come over, decided to come over himself. He asked if there is any way that I can change Annabelle's name. I asked him why to see if he'll tell me the truth, and he did. He admitted to the affair. He begged mom not to leave him and she stayed, but just hearing that name had always put her in a bad headspace. I told him I can't, and that Annabelle was the name of my husband's grandmother who helped raise him. My dad begged and pleaded for me to change it, saying mom was in the middle of packing her bags and heading to her sister's house. I told him I won't change her name and that it means so much to me and my husband. He began to raise his voice and immediately my sister yelled back and told him to get the heck out. She told him not to stress me out about a mess he created. He left immediately. I'm not changing my baby's name, but I feel like this is tearing the family apart. What should I do? Small edit. Annabelle isn't her real name. Her real name only has 3 letters, so a nickname based off her name wouldn't be possible. And a lot of you suggested to change her first name to her middle name, but her middle name is my mom's name, and I don't want to change that. OP, you're not the butthole. It's best summed up by my Reddit username 4228. Not the butthole. You didn't know. If you had known, you would be partly. But understand that this will likely permanently affect your relationship with your mother and father, and whatever relationship she would have had with your daughter. She may not be able to bear being around her or saying her name. Our next story is from Supermarket Big 8908. Am I the butthole for not forcing my daughter to give up her furniture? I have a daughter, Julia, F14, from a previous relationship, a son, M5, with my wife and 2 stepkids, F15, F9. My siblings always adored Julia. I was very young when I had her, so they helped me a lot to raise her. And she was the sweetest and most adorable kid. Then I met my wife. My wife wanted to be Julia's mom. Julia wasn't interested in that. She already has 2 aunts who are basically like her moms. My wife tried to reduce our contact with my family, which made my siblings very angry and made Julia very upset. After this, they never accepted my wife as a part of our family. Even when they invite the whole family to parties or gatherings, only me and Julia are invited. The problem is that we are financially struggling. My wife was in an accident a few years ago and now she can't work much because of her back problems. The stepkid's dad is a deadbeat and I don't make that much money. I am able to provide everything the kids need, but I can't provide things they want. My siblings, however, are able to spoil Julia by giving her everything she asks for, whether it's takeout because she doesn't like that night's dinner, new clothes because she wants to try a new style, private school because she doesn't like going to public school, or our newest problem, buying new furniture for her room because it has gotten old and boring for her. My wife thinks this is excessive. She thinks the new furniture should go to her daughters who still use the furniture they had since they were in preschool. She claims Julia doesn't need it because she bought new furniture just 4 years ago. I told her that this won't happen because they bought it all for Julia and it's not right to take it away from her. She then insisted that Julia's old furniture should go to her daughters then. I did speak to Julia about this, but she said no because her uncle was supposed to sell them and give their money to Julia to add to her savings, and she wants her money. Plus, my brother won't agree to this. When I told my wife that this is also not happening, she got very mad and started yelling and calling me the butthole. I don't know what to do now. Op is the butthole. A Dare to Dream sums it up. It's always so interesting how common it is to demand or even push a kid to call a parent dad or mom after you remarry. My mom dated a guy for 6 months, married him despite there being turmoil between me, the kids, and him, took his side on everything, and then asked us and kept hinting at us that we should call him dad and that he disliked being called his real name. It caused me so much disconnect that I can never imagine calling him anything like that now, even through the good times. I can only imagine the damage OP's wife is doing that he's also allowing to happen. Am I the butthole for refusing to walk my daughter down the aisle because of what she did to her mom? So, this has been an ongoing issue in my family for a while. But now that the wedding is coming up, everything has come to a head. I, 50M, have a daughter, Emma, 26F, who I've always had a very close relationship with. I've been married to my wife, Emma's mom, Laura, 49F, for 30 years now. We're a solid family, or at least I thought we were. Here's the backstory. A couple of years ago, Emma met her now fiancé, Tom, 28M. Things moved fast between them, and she was head over heels for him. We were happy for her at first, but something changed about a year into their relationship. Emma became distant from us, especially her mom. Laura and Emma used to be really close, but all of a sudden, Emma started snapping at her for little things, avoiding family dinners, and not sharing anything about her life. Then we found out why. About a year and a half ago, I overheard Emma and Tom having a conversation when they didn't know I was around. She was saying horrible things about her mom, stuff that really broke my heart. Emma was telling Tom that she couldn't stand how overbearing her mom was, that Laura always tried to control her, and that she felt like Laura was jealous of her life and success. She even said she resents her mom for putting so much pressure on her when she was younger. I was floored. Laura has always supported Emma in everything she did, from helping her through college to emotionally supporting her during rough patches. I never saw any of this coming, but instead of addressing it right then, I wanted to wait and talk to Emma calmly later. When I finally brought it up with her, she completely shut down and got defensive. She claimed I was taking her mom's side and that I didn't understand what it was like to grow up with someone who was always in your business. She said some really hurtful things and ended up storming out. After that, she basically cut off her mom entirely, except for the absolute bare minimum communication for holidays or family events. Laura's heartbroken. I'm angry. It's been a mess. Fast forward to now, Emma's getting married. She called me last week to ask if I would walk her down the aisle. But here's the thing. I don't feel right doing it when she's treating her mother like this. Laura's not even invited to the wedding. Emma said it would make things too uncomfortable if her mom were there. I told Emma that I can't walk her down the aisle if she's excluding her mom, who's done nothing but love and support her all her life. I said that until she makes things right with her mom, I won't be part of the wedding. Emma was furious. She accused me of choosing mom over her, said I was ruining her big day, and claimed I was punishing her for being honest about her feelings. She's now threatening to go no contact with both of us, and I'm torn up inside. I love my daughter, but I can't stand by and watch her treat her mother like this. Am I the butthole for refusing to walk her down the aisle? OP is the butthole. A commenter wrote, I can also understand that sometimes we in the OP's position think we know how a relationship goes and what's going on, but it doesn't matter what we see. What matters is how the persons in it perceive it. I would never tell this OP what I meant if I was his daughter. You can tell he would be asking in a "you're lying" and a naughty girl for suggesting such a thing voice, and it's already automatically on the defense in his daughter's position. I'd shut down too rather than avoid a discussion where my dad is only asking so he can tell me how wrong I am. I'd be like, nothing, Dad. It's nothing. I know he's not going to listen to me, and even worse, will just argue my own feelings with me. F that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the like button and enable notifications so you can know when I post new videos. And remember, try not to be the butthole.